All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Blackwing Trade. My name is Clinton, and this is my channel. I am a futures trader. Specifically, I trade the S&P 500 futures. Sometimes I trade the NASDAQ, but for the most part, I am trading the S&P 500 futures. On this channel, you will see pre-market analysis, and you will see live trading. I am live every morning, and I go live so you can see my thought processes, see how I trade. You will see the good, the bad, and the ugly. In my trading, hopefully to encourage you, to let you know that trading is something that is very attainable, that you begin to earn either part-time income or full-time income. It is not easy, but it is something that is very attainable. So today is one of those big news days. The FOMC is going to release their decision today at, I believe, 1 o'clock. And so the market is on edge, waiting to see how much the Fed is going to cut. I think it's pretty much a consensus that they're going to cut at least 25 basis points. Some people look for 50 basis points. And so we're going to see kind of like what is happening from there. And so the market has been sideways pretty much overnight. And if I can just make this a little bit bigger, this is on the 1 hour time frame, the bigger time frame. Close somewhere near 66.70. And that's fluctuated up and down a little bit. Got as low as 54 overnight, 66.53, 54 overnight. Came back up, and then it's been fluctuating between 66.60 going up to back to 66.70. And so it's kind of maintaining that range because everybody is waiting to see what the Fed is going to do. So I expect before the Fed makes their announcement, it's going to oscillate within a range. It usually does this on the day before the Fed meeting. And then once the actual cut is announced, then we'll see some volatility. And then once the chairman starts speaking, Chairman Powell, because he always starts speaking 30 minutes after that, then we'll see, what's going to happen. Because then they look at the cut, but then another thing that's on the market's mind is, okay, what is going to be the series of cuts for the rest of the year, right? If he gives a 25 basis point, they're going to know, okay, are you going to do another 25 at the end of the year? Are you going to do 50? Kind of what's your outlook? And so everybody's going to be looking to Chairman Powell to see what his outlook is for the rest of the year going into 2026. So that's when I expect the volatility really to happen. I usually don't trade the actual announcement. And so I won't be in a trade at 1 o'clock. Probably take me a small little trade this morning just to take a trade. But other than that, I won't do too much. So. All right, so we go to the 5-minute chart. We can just kind of see a little bit better. These levels were holding that I drew out yesterday, 66.60, 66.70. You see it traded down through that, came back up to 66.70, traded up just a little bit, 75, 76. And then you can see, it kind of held in between these ranges yesterday. So, this is where we're at now. We may get up to 66.70 or so, and then I can see it fluctuating there until we get the actual announcement for what the Fed is going to do. All right, so what levels am I looking at now? If there's a 50-point basis cut, you can probably expect the market to go through the roof, probably somewhere beyond 66.70, 6,700. You can expect that the market's going to like that. There's going to be some euphoria. But followed after that, probably tomorrow, the day after that, will be a downturn. So, but like I say, if the market cuts, I still expect, everybody's expecting the market to cut 25 basis points, but I still expect the market to rise after that, probably to 66.80, 66.90. It could retrace some of this room that it did when it yesterday in the pre-market, where it got up almost to 6,700. So I can see it going up in that case. But if it goes down, I don't expect it to go too far down. Maybe 60. 45 where it pivoted at when it opened 2 days ago from the weekend. And so that's the bottom area. I don't see it going down unless he announces no cut at all. Then I would expect, to be a hard downturn. But everybody is expecting that he's going to cut. So the Fed is going to cut. And so I don't think that there's any issue about not actually having a cut. All right, we got a couple of minutes. Wait for the market to open. But a couple of things we want to look at. So we want to look at that top 10 of the S&P 500. Start with Apple. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart. So Apple trying to get back up into that 240 range. They got up there momentarily yesterday and then pulled back. And so, on edge to try to do that again. On par to try to do that again to get back up into that range. Berkshire Hathaway, they've been going sideways at 490 for a while. Not much volatility there. All right, so Broadcom has still been trading well. They're up in the 360s, not as high as the 370s as they have been, but they still are doing well in the 360s. And you can see if you held Broadcom stock, from a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they were trading as low as 281. And so from 281 to 358, 360 is real well. Tesla is still kicking up high, above 400. So Tesla investors are happy. As you can see, they were down actually 100 points lower, probably about a month ago, about 3 weeks ago, down to 314. And so now they're traded up over the past couple of days up to 415 now. Nvidia has been having some woes. Actually, there was some news that came out. You can see they had this dip because they were at 175 and then they got a dip to 172. China looks like they're going to suspend sales of the H20 chip. So that's going to hurt Nvidia's market. And so you can see the investors are not liking that. That's why they had the big drop from 175 overnight all the way down to almost 170. And it's kind of down in the dumps right now. And so going to be interesting to see how Nvidia responds to this, what kind of, diplomacy they do. It's a test. It's going to be a test for Jensen Huang. A test for Jensen Huang to see if he's going to be able to work through this. So I am trading on Ninja Trader. Actually was just in a trade while I was talking through this and it hit my trade. So I just had one contract and I made $300 already. And so to be honest with you, for today, that's probably good enough for me. I really don't need to jump back in and do a lot more because, like I said, this is a heavy news day. But I may see if there's something else. I do the opening range break and see if there's something else that I may get. But I do see it doing some fluctuation on today. So we'll see if it works out. But I already made $300 this morning, so that's a good thing. All right, so back to Google. Google yesterday, they hit the parent company Alphabet. They hit $3 trillion in valuation yesterday. And I think that's when they were above 250, if I'm not mistaken. And so they are pulling back just a little bit right now. Pulling back just a little bit. They're still above 250, so we'll see what happens with them today. Microsoft still sitting the same. They climbed up pretty high yesterday on pre-market, 517. And then as the market pulled back, they pulled back as well. So now 509. They lost about $10, almost $10. And just kind of seeing where they're pivoting at right now. It looks like some of these tech companies and stuff are beginning to take some money off the table just to see what happens with the interest rate. And then I've seen this a lot of times, if you start to look at the rhythm and patterns, a lot of times, these big money institutional investors and stuff like that, they'll put money off the table before these big announcements, especially if they've been running, they've been in positions for a while. They'll put money off the table so they can take their profits. And then the stock will drop. And then once they see the announcement or whatever else, they'll either sell the news or they'll buy the news, depending on what their strategy is. But we can see that like these tech companies are kind of pulling back a little bit now. They've been rallying over the past week or so. And now you can see that they're pulling back just a little bit, just because they want to take the money off the table. Same thing with Microsoft. You can see, with Amazon, everybody's favorite shipper, you can see they climbed up and got some, got up to about 235. You can see them pulling back right now just a little bit. And I expect this to happen because it's right before the announcement. And so, and everybody's social media, Meta, favorite company, Meta. Meta has been on a strong climb up because of their ad sales and things like that. Looks like they had a little spike this morning, all the way up to 783, which is a new high for them. And now they're just pulling back from that a little bit at 777. So people taking profits and then taking those profits off the table. That's kind of look like the theme for this morning right now, leading up to the 15-minute opening range break for the futures, and leading up to the leading up to the Fed announcement. So we're gonna go back to our futures. We're going into the 5-minute chart. So they have a pretty good little spike right there. That's where I got filled on my trade. You can see that it pulled back, went all the way up to 66.74. Now it's pulling back to 66.70. Little spike, and then taking that volatility and pull it back. And so that's what we got now. All right, so we got our second candle. Got the 9 EMA and the above VWAP and the price action above that, so that's a good thing.
Exhilaration, joy, how a cabin feels like it was crafted with you in mind. The way an engine note resonates with your soul, because a car that doesn't make you feel something is a car that stops short of amazing. That's the standard of amazing. Lexus. Experience amazing.
Thanks for selling your car to Carvana. Here's your check.
Whoa, when did I get here?
What do you mean?
I swear it was just moments ago that I accepted a great offer from Carvana online. I must have time traveled to the future.
It was just moments ago. We do same-day pickup. Here's your check for that great offer.
It is the future.
Yeah, we can see that the whole market kind of took some early profits.
Sorry to blow your mind.
It's all good. Happens all the time.
Sell your car the convenient way to
Carvana.
Pickup times may vary and fees may apply.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. We've all had that epic rideshare experience. Halfway through, you're best friends, and they know your aspirations to go find yourself in Portugal. It's human. We're all looking for someone to listen, but not everyone is equipped to help. With over a decade of experience, BetterHelp matches you with the right therapist. See why they have a 4.9 rating out of 1.7 million client session reviews. Visit betterhelp.com/Spotify Music for 10% off your first month.
Yeah, seems to be pulling back. That initial volatility, putting back a little bit, taking profits. One of the things to notice in trading is kind of the different patterns. And these days like this, especially like interest rate announcement and stuff like that, the market trades within a particular range. And sometimes it fluctuate up and down just because it only wants to trade in a small range. And so you actually kind of have to adjust your strategy a little bit. So like my normal 15-minute opening range break may not work as good here, because once you get outside of that range, you know, I might not have as much upside or even downside to take that trade. Look like it's pivoting around 66.70 though. So I dipped down to the 9 EMA as far as low as that, but still want to stay somewhere around 66.70. So the trades that I take today, I will adjust in risk, meaning I won't be taking 3 contracts, but taking 1 contract, or even maybe even some micros, and then just trading those. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing out a rectangle for the 15-minute opening range. All right, there we go. And let me just edit those properties just a little bit. Oh, so it went down. $667.50. About where we need to be at. Take this out to the end of the day. All right, there we go. So we got our 15-minute opening range break. It's definitely trading to the low side now, so people are taking some profits, look like.
Here, you have to have.
Okay, so it's trading just a little bit lower, and we're still within that 15-minute opening range. It's got as low as 66.75. And it look like it wants to trade even lower than that. It's pressing even lower. Just to 25. And that'll cover the entire range. All right, so we're gonna get another candle here in about 15 seconds. And yep, yeah, the candle starts down. So see if it starts to pull up now. Yeah, it looks like it's pulling up. Don't know if it's going to continue on the downtrend or not. I'm tempted to go short at 66, 67, but you can see right now it's going back up. So, patience sometimes is the name of the game. It's going back up to VWAP. Could go short at VWAP and see if it continues to go down. But then you're kind of getting close to it. If it breaks through VWAP, then it's going to come back up. Possibly. But 66, 67 probably would be a good place to go short. Oh, now it's on its way back up. So there's a strong push back up. So that's what I mean by the fluctuation within the range. Nope, back up to 66.70. Now, a good play would have been to go long down at the bottom, but you never know what it's going to do. So that's why I say this is not conducive kind of to my 15-minute open range break, because it's going to fluctuate within range, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so it's kind of hard to get a definitive move either way. More so with some short scalping moves would probably be the better bet here. Just so we know, like I said, I already took a trade earlier today, so I'm up $300. I execute on Ninja Trader, and so I took a trade early this morning on this move up here, just before the open. I can do that because I'm with a funded trader company that actually is funding me. I'm trying out Take Profit Trader now. I'm funding on Top Step, and I'm trying out Take Profit. There's a lot of futures trading funded trader programs out there. So I'm trying out Take Profit Trader now because I've been doing some reading on them and then looking at doing some research on, doing some reading for them online. And one of the things that people love about Take Profit Trader is that you're able to begin to take profits from day one. So like Top Step, the only thing I don't like about their profit plan is you have to have 5 winning days. You have 5 winning days of at least $200 per day, and then you can take 50% of your earnings up to you get to the live stage. Then you can get like 90% when you're at the live account and stuff like that. And so it's kind of takes you a little bit to be able to take a profit. Well, the Take Profit Trade literally, like, now they do have one caveat, whatever, depending on what account you get, they call that a cushion kind of cushion area. You have to have more than that in your account to be able to take profit. So your cushion is how much the amount that you could lose in your account. So wow, this is a strong move up. You can see that it's moving up now. So it would have been good to get in it. Actually, on the long side at 667, that'd have been a nice little trade too as well. Huh? But either case, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off just because I've already made the money that I want to make, and I'm just gonna look to see what's gonna happen today. It's gonna be some fluctuation back and forth, and that's kind of what I just wanted to point out today, that today is going to be trading within a range. So I expect that these candles will be within this range, not too much further out either way, just because. But we'll see. In any case, thank you for joining. If you got on the live, and I'll see you again on tomorrow.
Tonight, turn down the noise.